So, guys, so here we are. What is it? About a week and a half, maybe, um, before Thanksgiving in the United States. Thanksgiving in the United States, right? And it's a week from Thursday. And then, of course, we've got so many things going on in the US. We're looking at a possible shutdown. There's a lot of places already in Europe that's already shut down. The countries are shut down, and flights are not going back in. Hey, Judy. Judy's joining us from Brooklyn, New York, in the house. Yay. Um, so there's a lot of shutdown, and Europe is already shut down. My friend Yasmina, that's in Belgium, they're already shut down there. I've got some friends over in England, and they're shut down, and so various parts. And so, of course, because of what we're now experiencing, the second surge, I believe, is what they're saying. There's a highly possible shutdown. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that there's already different parts of the cities or different states and various cities that have already shut down. And so you may say, well, what does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything that we're experiencing right now. And so tonight, what I would like to share with you, and what I would like this conversation, this dialogue to be about, is being in choice, where we're always choosing. So you guys know, I love the Bible, and that's a firm foundation for me. Many people may use other things, but this is what I use to really motivate me and to help set the foundation. Don't get me wrong, I use other things. I definitely have other books. I look at other affirmations. I do the affirmations. I do all of that because I find it's necessary to keep me very centered and very focused. And so tonight it's about choice. So one of my favorite scriptures that I love, and I'm going to read it to you. It's in Proverbs, right? And it's Proverbs 18. I'm going to start from verse 20, and I'm going to read verse 20 and 21, just so you would know, but on your own time, take it and read it. Or if you have something that speaks to you, then I want you to take whatever that is that speaks life to you. That's right, Cookie. She's saying the Bible is amazing, right? And it keeps her grounded. Exactly, it is. It keeps me very grounded as well. And I'm a very practical person, right? So I like to look at things in very practical. I'm not the pie in the sky. Not that I don't reach for the pie in the sky, because we do, right? But that's a whole other conversation. But I'm very practical, and I look at things that can help me feel good about who I am. And I'm a firm believer, a very firm believer. And that, hey, Renee, how are you? Where are you joining us from? Let us know where you're joining us from. So I'm a firm believer that, and no matter what we're doing, whether we are in business, and no matter what that business is, or we are in ministry of any kind, whether it's street, some people do marketplace ministry, or you may actually be in a church, in a synagogue, any one of those things, that I firmly believe that I really cannot serve other people to the fullest of my ability, to the fullest of my gifts, right? I cannot really step into completely what God has said and given me to do. And that's the same for you. I believe until I feel good about who I am, until I am serving myself, until I am feeling good. You understand what I mean? If I'm hurt about something, then I need to address those things. And so I'm a firm believer that we have to address wine dance. I believe that's Ashley. Yep. Joining us from Brooklyn. All right. All right. And Renee says she's from Dover, Delaware. I'm telling you guys, Delaware is in the house. Okay. We're at the house. Right. So, until I can't really succeed in other areas of my life until my personal development, until my inner well-being is well. Because what's happening in my inner child or my inner adult comes out in everything that I do. I have more joy when, and I could do my business. I can move forward in my business. I can make good business decisions. I could make good ministry decisions, whatever that is. I could make good decisions about my family when I am well in every area of my life. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, not at all. I'm speaking about just being well. You know, um, my personal development is well. And so what I do is I stay in the work of personal development. I stay in the work of being making sure that I am spiritually well, I'm mentally well, I'm physically well, I'm physiologically well, right? I'm emotionally well, right? And so one of the things that Cookie says, spiritual, mental, and physical health is wealth. It is wealth. Exactly. It is wealth. Let me tell you, many times we think of wealth as money, but it's not. We're talking about holistic abundance here, right? And holistic abundance have several areas. Listen, this is life, guys. I call it life by design. Life by design. Several years ago, several years ago, God had given me something and he said, Esther, this is life by design. And when you're thinking about life by design, you're thinking about all of these different areas of your life that you bring in together to design something beautiful. But many times that beauty does not come forth until there's some disruption, right? And so here we are. We are now headed back into possibly another shutdown. Highly possible. They're saying to us, listen, families, be careful, be safe, don't get together for Thanksgiving, don't do this. And they're warning us. For many, it's getting to be like overwhelming. And for some people are taking it and saying, listen, we're going to heed the warning, we're going to use wisdom. And some people are saying, oh, we're just going to go on with life as usual. And everybody is in choice. Everyone is in choice. And so Proverbs 18 and 21, I'm just going to read it really quick. I'm going to read 20 first, okay? It says, words, and I'm reading it, this is the message version. So it says, words satisfy the mind as much as fruit does the stomach. Good talk is as gratifying as good harvest. Good talk is as gratifying as good harvest. And then 21 says, words kill, words give life. They are either poison or fruit. You choose. I love that because we are always, 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 always in choice. Always in choice. God, does not force himself on us. We have a choice. And many times we don't realize it and we use God as an excuse, y'all, for choices we make or we don't make, for things we do or we don't do. We say things like, well, I don't know, if God wants me to do this. Come on now. He always, well, I don't know. No, God always gives us a choice. And he says, listen, I'm not going to make the choice. Choose today. I'm not going to make that choice for you. You got to make that choice. And that's for every area of our life. And I love it. He says, listen, you got a choice. You could choose life or you could choose death. You could choose this, whatever you decide that you're going to speak, the words that you use, the words. And I know I've talked about this before, but I really want to focus on it now because we are coming up in a into the holiday season. And with so many things happening, we can either choose to be happy or we can choose to be sad. We could choose to live and live well, or we could choose to be depressed and not live so well. And some people might be saying, well, my circumstances and my situation and things around me, that's why. So then let's begin to choose some things that's going to speak life into you. Okay? It's going to speak life. And so for me, I've decided that I'm going to choose what my day looks like in terms of how I react to the things that are happening throughout my day. Does that make sense, everybody? If that makes sense to you, let me know. Heart me up. Say, hey, yeah, this makes sense. This is good. Let me know. You have to choose. And God has given you the power. I like to tell everyone, listen, I call him God. I'm not sure what everyone else may call him, but I call him God. And so he has given all of us the power to choose. We can choose. We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be sad. And that even if we've got maybe some underlying issues, we can choose to get help or we could choose not to get help. Does that make sense? And so, because he's saying to us, life, death and life, listen, whatever the words that you speak, it can give you life, or it can kill you. You guys know you've had some words that has been spoken to you that has killed you. It's killed your spirit. It's killed your very being. Things that, there's choices that have been made for you when you were so young that you could not choose. There were words that have just killed you, even in adults, and so now that you can choose, not to speak those words back to anyone else. You can choose to speak life. And you can choose that when those words that were killing you, you could choose and say, you know what? From this day on, I will no longer allow the words that have been spoken to me to affect how I show up in the world, how I show up every morning when I wake up. When I wake up in the morning, I've got scriptures and I've got affirmations on my mirror. And I will speak those things over my life. I make a choice. Some days, like today, I was joking with someone and I said, oh yeah, I was talking and said, well, today's a Monday. And I said, yeah, it is a Monday. I get to choose no matter what's going on around me, I get to choose the reaction to my Monday. And today for me, guys, was a crazy, like, oh my gosh, where is all this stuff coming from? Monday. But then I chose, you know what? I'm going to still live up in a down spiral world. I'm going to choose to live up in a day that seems to be just haywire. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do. See, you are the navigator of your day. You are the navigator of your conversation. So you can navigate the direction in which it goes. Right, guys? You're the ones. We can many times say, well, I'm not in control. No, yes, you are in control. We say, oh, well, God is in control. Well, you are in control because he has given it to you. Right? And you can navigate how your day is going to go. You can navigate how your week is going to go. And so you are in choice. You get to choose how you're going to live. You get to choose how happy you're going to be or how happy you're not going to be. You get to choose. Yeah, that's right. Renee says, I am the navigator of my day. You are the navigator. You get to choose. And so you can navigate. You can navigate how your day goes. That means that you may have to choose who you speak to and who you do not speak to, based on how you're going to navigate. There's conversations that I have, and I have to speak to several people all day long. And what I have learned is I have to navigate my conversation. So when I navigate my conversation, that means I choose the direction it's going to go. And if I see if a conversation is going south, then I need to navigate it and steer it right back to where it needs to be. And so that's how you can help someone. Have you ever met a person that is always down, down, down? And when you're finished and you're feeling down, well, that's a choice. So make the choice now to navigate the conversation to where the conversation is always positive. Listen, I'm not telling you to be Pollyanna. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying is that you're in control. And I just believe it's time now to where we can, it's time for us to take control. So listen, disruption happens, right? Disruption happens. And many times with disruption, it's because we need to make a decision. Disruptions happen. And that's many times it's because, we need to go this direction. And so there's a disruption because we really don't want to go in that direction. So I'm looking at if there will be a shutdown. I'm looking at all of this. I've decided to choose that this may be a disruption in my family plans. This may be a disruption in other things that I may be planning for the holidays. But I'm going to choose to look at what is good about what's going to happen. That in this disruption is going to give me that opportunity to rest. And when I rest, I can clear my thoughts and then I could get downloads from God. That disruption then helps me to move forward, right? And so then you're in choice. You're in choice. And so during this time, as we're going into the holiday season, there's a couple things I just want to give you. And I want you to write it down and write it in chat for me, and so when someone comes, they can always see it. So the one thing I want you to note, and I do want you to begin to journal. Okay, let's journal because that way you can begin to look and see what am I choosing? Because I think that you have to be very conscious. It's so easy. Honestly, guys, it's so easy for us to go south, for us to go left in our conversations. It's so easy for us to go left in the words that we speak, not realizing that words give life. They give life. Our tongue is the pen of a ready writer. So what are we writing? Right? What are we writing? So we've talked about journaling before. So if you have not journaled, then start now. Never too late to start, y'all. So go ahead and start journaling now and begin to write down, look at yourself and really begin to monitor what words are you speaking? Are you speaking life into a situation? Are you speaking life over yourself? Are you speaking life over that loved one? So begin to monitor that. And so what I'd like for you to do is begin to journal. So you're going to put, the first thing is that every day you're going to speak life. And what does that look like in speaking life? So guys, this is your homework assignment, okay? For the next several weeks, because we've got to go through Thanksgiving. And then what happens is that we're jumping into the holiday season if we already have not. It's the best of times, and for some people it's the worst of time. And here it is. How can you now make this the best of time, no matter what's going on in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of disruption? How can this be the best of time for you? By speaking life. So what does speaking life look like? So I'm going to give you some examples of what speaking life looks like, right? Speaking life looks like choosing the words that will lift a person up. Choosing the words that will lift a person up. That's one way. You may have several ways that what speaking life looks like to you. So choose your words that will lift a person up. Words like when someone does something to you, hey, thank you, I appreciate you. Speak life begins to look at the things that I'm grateful for. And so on, I believe it was Saturday, I was driving, I was running around, I'm doing all these different things, right? And I began to think about the year 2020, because I was looking at something and it talked about, oh man, 2020 has been some year. And I've heard people say, oh my God, I can't wait till 2020 is over, or 2020, it's this and that. And we've had so much that have gone on in 2020, because 2020, many of us lost loved ones. I lost my mother I've had friends who've lost their parents. I've had friends who've lost their spouses. Um, so 2020 has brought on a lot of things, and many of us could really put our head just down. I mean, there were some days, guys, I have to tell you that I just did not feel like getting out of bed because the sadness and the depression sets in was so great. But what I had to do was begin to speak life into myself. And so as I was driving on Saturday and I began to think about all of the things, that have gone on in 2020, there was a shutdown, business shutdown, uh, um, I lost my mother, and in the middle of losing my mother, I've lost some really important relationships that I held dear to my heart, and there's so many other things that have happened. And as with me, y'all, I know it's happened with you. So guys, don't leave me out here. If you've had 2020 to where you've lost something, whether it's a loved one, it's a partner, or your business, or you've just lost your identity, or you've just been, 2020 has just been some kind of year, and you can't even really put the words to it because it's just been some kind of year, you know? Um, don't leave me alone. Say, hey, I get it. I understand. Me too, Yana. YANA. You are not alone, because there's other people that's out there that's like that. And so as I was driving down the road, yeah, I just began to think about that. And then I began to think about the wonderful things that has happened in 2020. That in the middle of a storm, in the middle of a pandemic, the great peace that I had, in the middle of so many things going around, that how I could have still spoken life. And I began to just get a grateful heart, that how in the middle of the pandemic, I was able to open another business. I pivoted in my business. In the middle of the pandemic, while I lost my mother, I celebrated her life. In the middle of the pandemic, my daughter in love gave birth 5, 6 weeks early to the twins, and they were healthy. Just minor, very minute. Listen, guys, in the middle of everything that's going on, what is it that you can be grateful and thankful for? So that's speaking life. As we're approaching Thanksgiving, and not just because we're approaching Thanksgiving, but throughout for the rest of 2020, I really want you to journal and really begin to speak life into situations, speak life over yourself, and begin to look up. And so begin to speak those things. My sister-in-law used to say that edifies. I say used to because she's no longer with us. Speak those things that lifts up. So that's what choosing life looks like. Choosing life, and I made notes to myself, so that's why I'm looking down. Choosing life, that means that you will limit those conversations with people who don't want to choose life, and they may be feeling down, and you're trying to pick them up, but they've chose not to come up. And so you may have to just leave them alone for a little bit, because you have to stay up for yourself first, and then for others around you. Choosing life, it means that when I feel down that day, I'm going to speak and say, but I'm alive and I'm here. And so I choose. Choosing life means that I'm going to turn on some music and I'm just going to dance. Choosing life means I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to see the beautiful nature that God has created. That's choosing life. Choosing life means that I may go take a walk. I may go for a ride. Choosing life means in every downward spiral, I'm going to look to where I see God in everything, where I see the light shining. Are y'all getting it? Yeah. Yeah. Cookie says that, yes, my great grandmother. Yeah, you've lost your great grandmother? Yeah. And you have choosing life for me was looking over the life that my mother lived and how it was a great and it was a vibrant life. And that encouraged me that I know that she's in a better place. And while I miss her, I could dance and celebrate that she is well. Choosing life. Choosing life means that you're not going to listen to anything that brings you down. Meaning that if CNN is pouring, CNN and NBC, CBS, Fox News, all of the news, the fake news, the real news, whatever news that is, the politics and everything, if that is something that brings you down, that it's affecting you, and you've gone to negative Betty, negative Nancy, then don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Shut it down. Choosing life may mean I'm going to stay off of social media. And so when I'm on social media, I'm just going to look for those things that's going to speak to me and not those things that's, criticizing and just negativity and negativity and negativity. No, choosing life means I'm going to speak those things that are positive. That's choosing life. And so what you have to do is that when you're journaling, day 1, day 2, you could do something like 30 days of choosing life. Day 1, I choose this today. These are the words I'm speaking today. Day 2, this is what I choose. 30 days of choosing life. And today, so now this is day 1 of 30. I choose to. So today for me was Monday, and I said it was a crazy day. So today, Monday, I choose to not allow the craziness of the day to pull me down and get me in a spiral, because sometimes it does. And sometimes I get so overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I can't believe I choose not to do that. Right? Choose life. Choose life. Choose life. And so the other piece that I want you to do is then choose yourself in that choosing life. Write down in your choosing life, go for an outing. One of the things you can do, Thanksgiving is coming, and many of us can't be with our families. So this is what I recommend. Get dressed up. Cook a simple meal. It doesn't have to be an elaborate meal. Cook a simple meal. Dress. Put on your makeup if you wear makeup. Put on a nice dress. And if it's just you and your spouse, you and your partner, you and a loved one, you and your best friends, because, wherever you are, get dressed, turn on some music, right? And have that dinner at the dinner table. Or listen, how about a picnic? You could do a nice picnic and set it. You can contact other family members on Zoom and you all can just have dinner together. Or what about a dance party? You could all have a dance party together. In other words, what I'm saying to you is begin to look to see what you can do to make yourself feel better. Judy says, look at the glass full and not even half full, but full by the grace of God. Yes, it's a choice. Look at that glass full. Look at that glass full. I like to, my husband and I, with our family, we lived overseas for quite a while. And I have to tell you guys that the holidays are like the best time for me. I just love it. And I love being around my family. And when I couldn't be around my family, I used to get so depressed, and I had to make a decision that I would choose what I'm going to do. And so I would just decorate and decorate and decorate. My house right now, I've already put up my Christmas tree. And some people are saying, well, my God, it's not even Christmas. We're just forgetting Thanksgiving. No, I'm not forgetting Thanksgiving. But for me, I have a choice and I choose life. And so for me, I chose to put up my tree. And then I know what my mother's favorite color is. And I chose to decorate my tree in her favorite color, because why? That brings peace for me. That's me choosing life. That's me choosing joy and me choosing happiness in the middle, in the midst of everything. And that's what I want to encourage you to do tonight, right? To choose life. So, guys, that's it. That's it. So you have your homework. You have your homework. So listen, on this Saturday, I have my virtual event coming up. Val, if you can put the link in there, you have to register for it. It's from 11 to 12 12:30. And it will be myself, it will be Nikki Cervantes, and then Dr. Viola Pierce. And we're going to be talking about we're going to deep dive into you just regenerating, refreshing, and you feeling good about who you are. And what we would like to do is just wake up anything that's in you that may have been living dormant, and we want to encourage you and motivate you and lift you up. And so on Saturday, we're going to be deep diving. We want you to be healed in every area of your life. And listen, and we know that it's not a one or done, but if you can make it there on Saturday from 11 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, Val, if you post the link, I will put it up on the post. There we go. You have to register because this is a private event and it's free, guys. So come on. We're going to be doing giveaways. We even have a giveaway to the retreat, right? Where you'll get a discount for the retreat. We've got all kinds of giveaways, right? And I'm doing it. Why am I doing it? Because I know what I need. And I figure if I need it, y'all need it too. Somebody out there. I'm not alone. And so that's why I'm doing it. Right. And so I want to just bless you, and I want you to bless me and bless others. In other words, we're there that we're going to bless each other just with our presence, just by saying I showed up. So I want to encourage you to show up for yourself and come on and join us and share it with someone. Don't keep it to yourself. Share the link, have them register. You must register because when you register, you're going to get the private link, but it will only be for you. So make sure that you register. We already had, I think I put it out, was it last night? We've already had several people already registering. So I'm super excited. Nikki is ready. She's ready. She's going to be talking about going even deeper and healing the inner child and that adult healing that comes from a deep place. And Dr. Viola is a nurse practitioner, and she's going to be talking about how it's all connected, that holistic piece about how it all connects. I'm just going to be there just talking, y'all. Okay, just talking. So come on in and join and get nuggets, get pieces that will take you not just to the end of the year, but beyond that. And then, of course, I'm going to post a link. Val, you guys know my Festa della Donna is coming up. I'm super excited because this year it's a retreat. I have my friend that says, Esther, what are you doing in these COVID streets? Listen, I'm not letting COVID stop me from doing anything, but I do use wisdom. Hear me. I use wisdom. Got my mask. I use wisdom. All right, guys. I use wisdom, and I'm following protocol. And so we have, we've got the retreat coming up. I'm going to put the retreat link on there for you now. And listen, take the time, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself because you are worth it. And so I'm super excited. Everything we're doing that's live is COVID friendly. Why? Because we all want to be safe and healthy. So check out the link. Listen, we've got two prices. One's just for you, or you can bring a friend with you, right? So come on in and join us, join me and wonderful other phenomenal women as we go to the retreat and we get renewed, revived, and everything. And again, serving ourselves so we can be full, so we can be ready to serve others. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited for you to join me. I hope that I'll see you not just this Saturday, but I will also see you at the retreat. I will also see you. We haven't posted this as yet at the soiree that will be at the riverfront in Wilmington. Yes, guys. I am about making sure that we as women, we are living a holistic life and we are enjoying an abundant life. And yes, men can't come to the retreat, but they can join in on everything else. Okay. So invite. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Reach out and reach out to me. If there's any subject, any topic that you would like to talk about, reach out. I will tell you because next week is the 23rd of November, and that's Thanksgiving week. I know many of you are busy. You will see me on live, but I will not be on at 8:30. Okay. But I'm going to be popping on throughout the week. I just want to pop on and say hi. I'm going to be popping on to check on you, to make sure that you're doing well In the meantime, I'll be praying for you. I'll be thinking of you. I'll be sending you love. And as my friend says, I'll be sending you light, and I'll be sending you peace and joy. Have a good, wonderful evening and the rest of the week. And I will see you on Saturday. Woohoo! See you Saturday, guys. Take care. I'm going to post the link again. There you go. And it will be there. So have a good evening. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.